This essay example, as well as thousands of others, is available in text format on our website for free and without registration. Simply Google Ivy Panda Free Essays.
Classical model. The classical argument originated in ancient Greece in the 5th century BC. This is based on logical syllogism, a form of argument that consists of a two-part premise and a conclusion. The classical model, in its formal form, has 6 components. The introduction and background deliver the two-part premise of the syllogism. What follows is the detailed proof of the proposition. This proof includes several reasons, each supported by evidence. The arguer then considers the possible refutations to her argument, answers them, and tries to convince her that her position is the only acceptable one. The last part is the conclusion. This summarizes the whole debate and closes the argument. Here, the arguer appeals emotionally, ethos, and logically, logos, to the audience. If the argument is that I deserve a better grade on this paper, the most probable exploitation will lie in the conclusion. More than logical reasoning, almost any individual will use ethos and pathos, appeal to sympathy. Even in the lengthy background, one may trap the reader in emotional appeal. Toulmin model. Toulmin model can be understood as a refined form of the classical model. Toulmin model has 3 primary components. These are the claim, the support, and the warrant. A claim is like a proposition in the classical model, the statement or position that one wants to prove. Toulmin criticizes the classical premise of an argument that tends to overgeneralize the situation. So, the Toulmin argument will not give any background for the argument. The support is the data or evidence to convince the reader to accept the claim. The third part of Toulmin's model is warranted. A warrant is a supposition or assumption that connects and supports the claimed. Warrant is a widely held belief or value that is assumed to be shared between the arguer and the audience. This is not stated explicitly but presumed. In the argument, I deserve a better grade on this paper, the arguer might give a reason that she worked hard. The warrant, in this case, is that working hard deserves a better grade. If the audience altogether rejects the warrant, the claim is no longer stable, regardless of the evidence. There is a strong possibility that the audience accepted the argument without evaluating the warrant. Here, the possible exploitation lies. Almost always, the audience falls into the trap of warrant and tends to accept the argument as it is. Rogerian model. The Rogerian model differs in its structure such that it lists the opposing viewpoints before the arguer's own point. It starts with the introduction and then tries to convey the message that it respects the other views. Then, after stating one's own position, the arguer tries to demonstrate how one's position might be better than others. In this part, it appeals to self-interest or common values or principles to convince the audience. Before the argument, I deserve a better grade, the arguer would try to convey that she knew the paper was not up to the expectations of her instructor and that working hard might not always deserve a better grade. In this process, the arguer tends to build a conversation relationship that obviously appeals to the emotions of the audience, and there lies the trap. The Rogerian model is peculiar in a way that it does not seem to try to win in any situation. It also considers the situation where opposing viewpoints might work. The arguer might say, this may be right that working hard does not always deserve a better grade, but that is for a class where everyone is working hard. Rogerian model tends to avoid the debate that revolves around a single argument. It considers opposing arguments and accepts the situations where those might work. It engages in an ongoing debate and then states a new opinion. This essay on the comparative evaluation of classical, Toulmin, and Rogerian models of argument was written and submitted by a student just like you. The IvyPanda Samples database hosts thousands of works similar to this one on various subjects. Visit ivypanda.com to find what you are looking for.